संचित भाई कैसे हो सर?
Sir, matlab, just literally 24 hours ago, when three of us, raunak, me and you, talking about WTC final, and जो hype में थे हम लोग कि finally, like, this is the time, this is the ultimate test match, India versus Australia, nothing gets bigger than this, and we were so hyped, literally 24 hours ago. I can literally see it, like, imagine the hype, like whatever we had yesterday, and today, within a span of 7 to 8 hours, completely deflated. And मतलब आई वॉज लिटरली लाइक सर्चिंग पॉइंट्स बहुत मारा यार, मतलब धागा खोलिया, एग्जैक्टली वही हुआ। लाइक आई एम लिटरली सर्चिंग पॉइंट्स की मतलब चलो ठीक है, शो पे आए, वी कैन टॉक समथिंग पॉजिटिव अबाउट इंडिया फ्रॉम टुडे।
There are a lot of positives. Yeah, Messi has joined Inter Miami. ठीक है, and I think Major League Cricket is starting on July 13th, which is also just 1 month, almost 1 month away. और क्या चल रहा है मतलब यार वी नीड रीजंस टू फॉरगेट द डे यार। मतलब संचित यार 327 फॉर 385 ओवर्स, ट्रेविस हेड टी20 खेलने आया था यार, ऐसा लग रहा था। और व्हाट वाज सरप्राइजिंग, आई मीन लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग, स्टार्टिंग से शुरू करते हैं। वी वन द टॉस, ठीक है, सबसे पहले हम टॉस जीत गए। मैंने कहा था कि कल बैटिंग करनी चाहिए, संचित ने कहा था कल बॉलिंग करनी चाहिए पहले टॉस जीते तो। माय ओनली रीजन वाज 1 घंटा निकाल लिया ऊपर का, देन I think there is something in this pitch to, for our batters to do well. और I think वही करा है आज ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने करके भी दिखाया है स्पेशली। और ऐसा भी नहीं कि वो लोग स्ट्रगल कर रहे थे इन द फर्स्ट सेशन। डेविड वार्नर वाज लुकिंग रियली रियली गुड। 40 runs out of 50, 43 of some 55-60 balls मैंने देखा था, and he did not look कि आउट हो जाएगा अभी फटक से। he was on course to score big मेरे हिसाब से। लेग साइड पे आउट हो गया, अनफॉर्चुनेट। बट what do you think, was it right to bowl first?
Well, firstly, like to begin this show, I'm getting calls from the ones who don't watch cricket, just to give it back on my face कि यार क्या हो रहा है तुम्हारी टीम का, because the people who are calling me, the people who are texting me don't watch cricket, and they are constantly trolling us, and I think that gives a picture what went wrong with Team India today. But to answer your question, Abhinav, यार मतलब कल we were having this heated discussion about what to do after winning the toss, and I think both ways we had our reasons why we should bat first, why we should ball first. And fortunately for us, we won the toss. I think after 1947 we finally managed to win a toss in an ICC knockout game. I think this is the first time ever we managed to do that. But we managed to pick, according to me, like, I am not going to change what I felt was right yesterday. I feel still that bowling first was a good option. Going with 4+1 was a good option because of the conditions that were there. But वो जो first hour का जो हम लोग ने कल बात किया था about making good use of the first hour, I think we did not do that, and we were heavily punished for today. Like I can very much like confidently say this कि अगर if we would have batted first today, we would have been 5 down by the end of the first session. It was difficult in that first session. It's just that Australian batting, the way that they held themselves together in the first hour, I think that deserves to be given credits. तो उसके बारे में भी हम जरूर बात करेंगे, स्पेशली वार्नर का जो इनिंग्स था, इट वाज अ शॉर्ट कैमियो इनिंग्स बट इट रियली डिड वेल। एंड देन ट्रेविस हेड, यार मतलब अभी ना उसके ऊपर तो बात करेंगे, ट्रेविस हेड एंड स्टीव स्मिथ के ऊपर, लाइक दे कंप्लीटली टुक द गेम अवे फ्रॉम अस, एंड it really looks bleak from India's point of view today.
So मेरा तो डायरेक्ट सवाल तो पहले सबसे पहले वही है, is the game gone? I'm being like very very honest in my opinion. 327 for 3, I was hoping कि यार इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया को I think 250 और 300 के बीच में अगर निपटा देती है तो I think there is a better chance of winning this game, क्योंकि I am pretty sure day 4 and day 5 ये पिच easy नहीं होगी बैटिंग करने के लिए।
Exactly.
ऑलमोस्ट वी हैव सीन ये पिच टू पेस्ड है, बॉल नीचे रह रही है, ऊपर रह रही है। कितने बॉल श्रीकर भरत ने वन बाउंस पकड़े हैं ऑफ आवर फास्ट बॉलर्स हु आर बॉलिंग 140 प्लस। सो इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी इजी इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि यार चेस करने में अगर 300 के ऊपर का रन अगर टारगेट बन गया इंडिया के लिए, आई थिंक ऑस्ट्रेलिया आर द क्लियर फेवरेट्स देन।
Exactly, and somewhere I feel like, to answer your question about game being on, like even the optimist version of me would still say कि यार कल first session में we can get the remaining 7 wickets and get them below 400, and even that wouldn't be an ideal situation for us, because we already thought कि after winning the toss and bowling first, 300 के नीचे तो उनको रखना था minimum, and now we are thinking about putting, like, worst case scenario for them would be crossing 400 runs, and that is also the worst case scenario for us also, because our batting has not been consistent for the last 5 years or so. And to expect our batters जो inconsistency से पूरे भरे हुए हैं to score 400 500 runs just to stay alive in this test match, I feel is a big ask on this kind of wicket. And especially the pressure of not winning an ICC trophy of for 10 long years, wo ek on back of the mind, plus no Rishabh Pant to save us in that middle order. 3 4 5 we all have talked about what they have gone through in the last 5 years, so उसके ऊपर बात करने की जरूरत नहीं है. So everything is against us. So even the optimistic of fans would still say कि the game is slightly away from us. So I feel even on the field also, अगर आप match देखा होगा, so even the players look down and out after what Travis had did. And this is the problem I have with our team. Yeah. मतलब even in England in the last test match that we played in 2022, when Johnny Bairstow was attacking us, we had no answers to a batsman playing a counter-attacking innings against us. I mean, like, I don't know why we tend to go so defensive when a player decides to attack us in response. मतलब क्या क्यों ऐसे हो रहा है? Because we have been so good at defending targets all those years ago, and now we suddenly lost the art of bowling. मतलब 3 विकेट के ऊपर तो लेना ही नहीं है wickets. That is the sorry state. It's like I feel like we have traveled back to all those years, the dark days of 2011 to 2015 when we used to get battered away from home. So I think we have वैसे ऐसे लग रहा है even, and I really don't see a way back unless a miracle happens for us in this test match.
क्योंकि पता है क्या, रिकी पॉन्टिंग ने जस्ट आफ्टर लंच बोला था व्हेन ट्रेविस हेड वाज, मतलब जब ट्रेविस हेड नया बैटिंग करने आया था, कि he is one player who will get troubled by the short ball. He will go after it because he doesn't know how to defend it really really well. और उसने वही करा आज पूरे टाइम. जिसको जो भी शॉर्ट बॉल मिली, he tried to get it थर्ड मैन के ऊपर से. उसको पता है बैट लग गया तो ऊपर से चौका छक्का मिलने वाला है. And he did that, I think बहुत बार करा पूरे इनिंग्स में. उसको शॉर्ट, he was troubled with the short ball, और हमने उसको बहुत जल्दी उसको अटैक नहीं किया शॉर्ट बॉल के साथ. is my point.
Exactly, and I think ये conversation even the commentary section में भी हुआ था when he was on 99, I feel. तो it was rare, like मतलब short ball क्यों हम लोग ने target नहीं किए, right when the pitch was bouncy, when we had the new ball in our hands and we got them 3 for 70 or something in just after lunch, and तभी से I think we should have attacked Travis Head. I don't know why we decided to go defensive. Just because he's a counter-attacking player, we decided to go defensive against him. And he, I think, got off to a good start as well. 15 balls में he scored 27 or 28 odd runs, and that completely set the tone for Australia. And जिसके बारे में हम डर रहे थे, Steve Smith and Marnus Labuschagne. Labuschagne didn't do much, but Steve Smith के बारे में जो डर रहे थे, he had to play a second fiddle and yet was so convincing in his own ways. And that just is your pitching.
Yeah, मेरे हिसाब से I think Steve Smith लंबी बैटिंग करने वाला है ये मैच में. He has not looked troubled at all. उसको जो भी बॉल डालोगे वो फेस करेगा और बताएगा कि अभी कैसी बॉल जा रही है, कैसी बॉल होने वाली है. He is doing it perfectly. उसके लिए गेम सेटअप हो गया है. He will try to score big tomorrow because he knows that runs बहुत अच्छे खासे अभी स्कोरबोर्ड पे लगे हुए हैं, and India is on the back foot. So मेरे हिसाब से I think there is lot of thinking. आज कल का डे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. फर्स्ट सेशन में अगर हमने दोबारा रन्स लीक करना शुरू करे, बिकॉज एक मिडल फेज आ गया था जहां पे फील्ड ऑलमोस्ट खुल गई थी. 4 बाउंड्री राइडर्स, थोड़ा प्रेडिक्टेबल सी बॉलिंग हो गई थी व्हेन मोहम्मद शमी, मोहम्मद सिराज, शार्दुल ठाकुर, उमेश यादव कमिंग राउंड द विकेट टू ट्रेविस हेड, ट्राइंग टू हिट हिम ऑन द लेग साइड, एंड ही इज ट्राइंग टू सिंगल डबल आ रहे थे आराम आराम से. सो आई थिंक इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि हम ऑस्ट्रेलिया को अब तो मैं क्या बोलूं, अभी 3 ही विकेट गए. आई थिंक 450 के अंदर भी हमने रोक दिया अगर, it is going to be a big achievement. कल तो मैं 250 बोल रहा था, but what do you think?
I think 450 is like, I'll take 450 from here for tomorrow if that happens. But we all know our relationship with bowling against tail enders of the opposition. So 450, like, I'll take it. But realistically, अगर देखा जाए, I think they are going to score 500 or more. And as you rightly said, Steve Smith, like Travis said, may get out while attacking. But Steve Smith, I think he's in for a longer innings, and I won't be surprised if he goes on to score 200. I think the response of our bowlers will be really tested, because आज जो मतलब दिख रहा था towards the end of the day, our bowlers were tired. I even saw visuals of Shardul Thakur getting treatment from physio. It was day one. First test match of after a long time. It was day one, and our bowlers are already down and out. And Shardul Thakur has already faced a lot of issues with injuries during the IPL as well. So यही बात आती है कि where the players actually 100% fit to play the test match. उमेश यादव भी जब उन्होंने बॉलिंग की चालू आज, he looked very rusty and he leaked runs for fun today. Shardul Thakur also had a good start, but then slowly started to look rusty, and even then fell down and needed physio treatment. So अभी ना यही बात है कि मतलब are our players actually 100% fit? Because this is an ICC final we are talking about, and we can't really be casual and loose about all this. So if the players are not 100% fit to play an entire 5 day of Test cricket, then I mean, what's the point of even as fans hoping? That is
Yeah,
the sorry state of.
listen, I'm also sorry to say, but Jay, this is not what I want to accept it, because what does this statement mean कि हमें फाइनल खेलना नहीं आता, या वी ऑलवेज टोक अंडर प्रेशर? आर वी नॉट दैट बिग अ साइड कि हम ऑस्ट्रेलिया को हरा सकते हैं बड़े फाइनल में? आर वी दैट टीम राइट नाउ आफ्टर एमएस धोनी इन 2011 वर्ल्ड कप, उसके बाद से 2013 चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी एज वेल इफ यू काउंट, उसके बाद से हम लोग बड़े मैचेस में जीत ही नहीं सकते? इज दैट व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू से? और what is the reason then for accepting that Australia know how to play a big final? Even we know how to play the big final. We have made it to finals consistently in the past 10 years, final, semi final. क्यों बार बार आके you, because this wait will continue otherwise. अगर हर final के time पे हम we keep talking that the other team knows how to play big finals, or England know how to play the semi final better in the T20 World Cup, or Pakistan was better in the Champions Trophy final, when does this change, or when does this stop? यार मेरा वो point है.
Absolutely, and I mean this argument doesn't even hold to a team like New Zealand. Matlab, when we lost to them in 2019 and 21 for that matter, we were the ones having more experiences in knockouts than New Zealand. I mean, New Zealand always used to be on the receiving end, but somehow they managed to defeat us and win their first ICC trophy after a while. I think 2000 के बाद 2000 when ICC knockout was there, उसके बाद पहली बार वो लोग ने ट्रॉफी जीती ICC की. So that just shows, yeah, मतलब I feel somewhere down the line it has to do with the mental ability of the players. I think skills are there, but वो बस बोलते हैं ना कि mental block है to play on such a level. I mean, in football we like to use this term very well. Like for example, my team, which I support, Arsenal, somehow when things are on the line, they just can't really turn up when it is required. And somewhere I feel even it is happening with the current bunch of Indian cricket players. And I think managing expectations is going to play a massive role. I mean, every time we make the final, I know कि कल ही हम लोग बात कर रहे थे कि this is the first time where we are not the favorites, but at the end of the day, we are always going to be the favorites in the eyes of media. तो अगर हम हारेंगे on Sunday, people are not going to say कि oh Australia were better already, so they won. People are going to crucify, and it has already started. People are going to crucify Rohit Sharma. People are going to crucify Rahul Dravid. People are going to crucify India for not delivering again in the final, and they will paint the picture ki we were supposed to win this, and it is always going to happen. The pressure of winning is always going to be there. So ये जो बोल रहे हैं ना हम लोग कि यार we are first time we are not favorites, it is never going to happen with Indian cricket. And somewhere I feel कि mental block is the real issue. I think skill wise we are up there. अगर ऐसे नहीं होता, we wouldn't have those victories in Australia. We wouldn't have those Gabba heroics or Sydney heroics or even Oval and Lords for that matter. Skill wise we are absolutely up there. बट वो बस बात आती है कि फाइनल है, आईसीसी है, वी हैवंट डन वेल फॉर 10 years, एंड समवेयर आई थिंक दैट इज द थिंग आई फील.
Yeah, true. थोड़े comments आए. Sanmay is asking, is it correct to say Aussie are mentally tough than Indians? Yeah, Australia has always been a top cricketing side, a top cricketing nation. तो मैं doubt नहीं करता that they turned up for this. They knew what they are up against. The whole crowd is against them. The atmosphere is right in the favor of India. और sadly कल हम ये बात कर रहे थे कि you have to use the crowd as the 12th man और अपने फेवर में जाने चाहिए, जो कि हुआ नहीं. So I think big worries for India in the next couple of days मेरे हिसाब से. और यहाँ पे कोई तो कह रहा था कि डे रेन प्रेडिक्टेड day 4 day 5. don't worry about that यार. रेन यहाँ पे I can say कि यार just because the Google map या कुछ कह रहा है आपको कि यार Google के weather कह रहा है कि यार it is going to rain, doesn't matter. क्योंकि यहाँ पे it is very easy to, और rain वैसी rain नहीं आती कि यार पूरा wash out हो जाएगा. We still have a reserve day in place. When you have a reserve day, for sure there is a result coming up. And for now I think खाली दो result दिख रहे हैं मेरे हिसाब से. तो I think it's either Australia winning or it is going to end up in a draw, जो कि मैं तो कहूँगा यार 80-20 लग रहा है right now in the favor of Australia. So Moving on, I think थोड़े और comments लेते हैं. Jay is saying India are having the experience of making to the finals and we have won it too under MSD, be T20 World Cup, 50 over World Cup or Champions Trophy. But in terms of consistency of winning a final, we are behind Australia. Yeah, completely agree. And this needs to change, यार, because या तो आप अपने expectations ही मत रखो कि यार इंडिया फाइनल में आएगी तो जीत ही नहीं सकती. ठीक है. When you reach the final, you have to make sure कि यार just win it. It's a one-off game, यार. One-off game, it could be anyone's day. Just make sure that you put your best foot forward. और आज for some reason लग नहीं रहा था कि we are completely up, for the game throughout the 90 overs for the day.
Exactly, and somewhere I feel ki like as you rightly mentioned, ki body language was not really looking good. Even Harsha Bogle, for that matter, tweeted at around 9 p.m. when I think almost 1.5 hour a day's play was still remaining. Ki Indian bodies have already started looking down and shoulders were dropped. I mean, this is the first day of a test match and an ultimate test, which the media likes to call the World Test Championship final. पहले ही दिन पे you see our players already started to giving up, and that just tells you the story of what we had to endure today. And somewhere, Abhinav, I feel like this is a big missed opportunity for the golden generation that we like to call it. I mean, कल ही हम लोग बात कर रहे थे इसके बारे में. 2013 से लेके अब तक the teams that we had, not just in ODI, not just in T20, but even in Test for that matter, we had arguably our best bowling attack in possibly ever during this period, and we have nothing to show for it.
Exactly.
2015 से लेके 2022 तक we arguably were the best test side in the world, but unfortunately if you ask the same question to a kid growing up in 2040 about which do you think was the better side in test cricket during that time, they are just going to google it and they will say ki New Zealand won the WTC final in 2021, Australia won the WTC final in 2023. Nobody is going to mention about India because, of course, trophies matter. सब लोग
Yeah.
बोलेंगे कि trophies don't matter, consistency matter, bilaterals देखो. But at the end, trophies do matter, and unfortunately, we have nothing to show for it. Not in Test, not in ODI, not in T20. So ऐसे लग रहा है मतलब जो golden generation हमारे पास था, prime Rohit Sharma, prime Virat Kohli, prime Shikhar Dhawan for that matter, MS Dhoni also till 2019, and the ballers that we had, and we completely blew it. So in the next couple of years, when we go through that dreaded transition, जब ये सब star players जाएंगे, it is going to get worse than what we are going to
Yes.
see in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it is very important to note that कि यार ये एक max to max, it is just this 50 over World Cup which is remaining for most of these players. That level of competition जो बचा, and it is happening in their home country. India में होगा World Cup. So, but वो कल हम बात कर रहे थे ना कि we want both of these trophies. ये टेस्ट मैच भी चाहिए and that 50 over World Cup भी चाहिए. और यहाँ पे I think बहुत ही अच्छा एक point mention किया है जे ने कि not saying that India can't have the mentality, but to beat Australia, you need to have that mentality for 5 days. Or I think Australia is properly on top in this game. So how do you think? मतलब क्या changes करने पड़ सकते हैं कि right now we have to get them all out. Otherwise, if they declare this innings, they are going to declare it like 575 or maybe even 600 for an instance. So what needs to change? Because bowling maybe I've got four seamers. It has worked in the past. जब अश्विन नहीं खेला है, we have gotten with four seamers and we have picked up the wickets. I think the last Oval Test, Ashwin did not play if I'm not wrong, and we won the game as well against England. So what needs to change? What time pe we scored about 450 or something in the third innings.
Correct.
So I think क्या change करना पड़ेगा कल के instance, because now it all boils down to कि यार हम कितने कम में उन्हें रोक सकते हैं कल.
I think to be very honest, Abhinav, it is a known fact कि ये test match का fate is going to be decided in tomorrow's first hour or possibly the first session. मतलब first session में कल जो भी होगा, it is going to decide where this test match is going. And currently 327 for 3 Australia are well and truly in the driver's seat. So if there is something for India to actually think about a possible comeback, it is going to happen in the first 30 minutes or so. And we really have to be harsh on ourselves for like jo bhi the dressing room talk is going to happen tonight or possibly tomorrow morning about what went down today. There should be proper criticism made to the not the skills of the bowler but to the attitude of our players. Matlab, the way our shoulders were down like on day one, that shouldn't be the case in an ICC final. Even if you're losing badly, you should not have your shoulders down till the last ball of day 5 or till the last ball of the match actually gets over. So I think proper ऐसे डिस्कशन होना चाहिए इन द ड्रेसिंग रूम टू गेट द बॉलर्स फायर्ड up for tomorrow. And we really need players stepping up tomorrow. Today morning we saw just Mohammad Siraj bowling that spell in the first session. I think he got us those crucial wickets. That spell that he bowled to Manas Labuschagne and the openers of Australia, I think, was remarkable. Unfortunately, from the other end, उनको support नहीं मिल पाया. Shami started off well, but then he went wayward and then obviously had to be taken off. Umesh Yadav was really rusty
Yeah,
and he was
I would say
absolutely.
I think I want to be a bit harsh on the bowlers, but I also don't want to be at the same time because they have not played first class cricket for a long time.
Hmm.
But you have to understand that this is a final. You have to be at your best version. It's a one-off game. इसके बाद you still have, I think, अच्छा खासा decent सा एक rest आ रहा है. So I think we missed the trick when Manas Labuschagne was out. क्योंकि no one expected Labuschagne to get out at that time. To be
Agree.
honest, मेरे को नहीं लगा था कि यार he will get out on a ball like that because he had been playing that ball consistently for the first session. So I think when we got Marnus out 76 for 3 के आसपास स्कोर था वो टाइम पे. I think India missed the trick by not going extra attacking at that time. Just build the pressure on the new batsman. Make sure it is very difficult to get runs. Travis Head को एक अच्छा start मिल गया मेरे हिसाब से. I think that is the reason we kind of वो कहता है ना कि foot off the pedal जो accelerator से निकाल लेता है. I think वो कर लिया India ने and then we allowed Australia to dominate us.
Exactly. And जैसे आपने कहा कि what should change tomorrow, I think the first thing is कि our bowlers need to start hunting in pairs. It shouldn't be like कि only Siraj is trying from one end. मतलब दूसरे end से we have to be disciplined also. The best thing about what we used to do during the times of Ishant Sharma for that matter कि ईशांत शर्मा जब थे अपने पास, he didn't used to take wickets in big numbers, but he used to keep it disciplined from that the other end, while other bowlers from one end like Jasprit Bumrah or Mohammad Shami for that matter used to take wickets. तो we need to hunt in pair. ऐसे नहीं चलेगा कि यार एक ही एंड से विकेट आ रहे दूसरे एंड से रन आ रहे. We need to find a way to balance it out. Even with the spinners, when we used to dominate in Asian conditions, Ashwin used to be the one taking the wickets, while Jadeja used to be the one being bowling those discipline line and length. So I think somewhere we should try to adopt that. And 85 overs में already they are 327 for 3. So 8 points we also have to think to contain the run flowing of Australia, especially Travis Head for that matter. If we keep someone like a Travis Head quiet, he may try to go for a rash shot and then lose his wicket. Then after that, you have the likes of Alex Carey and Cameron Green for that matter, and then Pat Cummins, and followed by the tail. So ऐसे भी नहीं
Name
कि
Mitchell
is
Stark.
all
You
doom
should
and
name
gloom.
Mitchell Stark. You should name Mitchell Stark in the tail because
कुछ
he
time
genuinely.
भी है.
हाँ
एग्जैक्टली है.
यार.
मतलब वही बात आती है कि फर्स्टली वी हैव टू लाइक स्टॉप देम फ्रॉम स्कोरिंग फ्रीली. उसके बाद once we start to build up a pressure, I don't think we managed to build up a pressure since 76 for 3 for that matter. तो पहले तो प्रेशर बिल्ड अप करना है एंड देन ट्राई टू गेट द बिग विकेट फर्स्ट इन द फर्स्ट 15 minutes or so, and then उसके बाद we can try to just go through and forget what has happened on day one.
एंड हर्ष ने यहाँ पे कह रहा है कि यार कमेंटेटर्स टॉस से पहले बोल रहे थे शार्दुल को खिला, बोल रहे अश्विन को खिलाओ डबल स्टैंडर्ड. यार देख, आई वाज वेरी क्लियर, आई वांटेड अश्विन टू प्ले बिकॉज आई नो डे 4 डे 5 पे दिस पिच इज गोइंग टू टर्न एंड दैट वाज द रीजन आई वांटेड टू बैट फर्स्ट एज वेल. दोनों ही नहीं हुआ, सो आई एम अ बिट सैड ऑन दैट पॉइंट, बट आई थिंक संचेज आल्सो यस्टरडे मेंशन कि यार अश्विन हैज टू प्ले क्योंकि if there is one bowler who knows how to be smart in tough situations, that is Ravi Ashwin. Even though yes, Shardul एक अच्छा एक बैकअप है and he has performed well in whites. One thing which Ricky Ponting जो कि शुरू से कह रहा है, I think टॉस से पहले नहीं, I think he has been hell bent कि यार मेरे को अश्विन को खिलाना ही चाहिए था. I think he mentioned one point कि it should not be between Ashwin and Shardul, it should be between Ashwin and Umesh Yadav. What is your point on this?
I think it's a very good point because obviously we are comparing two specialist bowler in that matter. While we are currently treating Ashwin as a potential just spinner and all rounder for that matter, but it's a very interesting one. I think that could have been the case even for if you want to argue for the likes of Jaydev Unadkat for that matter. कि अगर Umesh Yadav is not fully fit, then maybe Jaydev Unadkat could have been an option. But the interesting thing with Ashwin is that कल ही हम लोग ने discussion किया था, and I think majority of us were in favor of playing Ashwin. But if we were really to ball first on an overcast morning with a green top, I think it was fair on the team management's call to go with 4 pacers. I think अगर हम बैटिंग फर्स्ट करना चाहते थे, then maybe playing Ashwin would have been a better option. तो I think the team management ने clearly मतलब ऐसे सोच लिया था पहले से ही कि overcost morning रहेगा, green top रहेगा, then we have to attack them with full pace attack like what New Zealand did the last time around. Unfortunately, it didn't work out well, and I feel even if Ashwin was playing today on the first morning, he wouldn't have been that effective as we would have liked him to be effective. And I don't think he's going to ball on day 4 and day 5 because just we are bowling first right now. So somewhere I feel ki Ashwin may be the scapegoat now. Matlab if we are to lose this test match,
Yeah,
then
that for sure. I think Ashwin, the playing 11, Rohit Sharma captaincy. If India falters in one of the innings batting वाले, then batting के ऊपर भी blame उठाया जाएगा. So that is a given. I think वो कोई रोक नहीं सकता because social media is one place जहाँ पे people can freely write anything or say anything and no one is going to stop them. So I think वो तो चलो ठीक है, उसके बारे में तो हम बात नहीं करेंगे, थोड़े comments ले लेते हैं. I think we just want to see good cricket. We want a 50-50 वाला fight because right now we are not seeing that. Is my point.
exactly. Yeah, matlab.
Yeah.
Comment
Uh,
section mein also we can see lots of like
yeah,
people
some
have actually
disagreements happening.
stopped hoping and
Yeah,
but that is the
yeah,
thing. Pankaj Udas ki playlist.
yeah. Jay saying Australia have literally toned teams when they played a ICC tournament final 93, 2003, 07, 15, 20, 21, T20 World Cup. They made it all final one side. This is the mentality. Exactly. I think but we have that mentality. Yeah. The thing is, we are not showing it. मेरे को लग रहा है कि यार because we have some of the best international cricketers for the past decade, playing consistently at a top level and scoring runs, taking wickets. तो हर बार ये जो फाइनल हर्डल का जो रहता है ना कि यार लास्ट हर्डल है, इसको क्लियर कर जाना है, देन इट इज समथिंग बिकॉज यू नेवर नो वन फाइनल एंड इट कुड चेंज द फाइनल्स व्हिच वी प्ले अहेड इन द फ्यूचर एज वेल. आई थिंक यू गेट माय पॉइंट कि हम अगर ये वाला मैच जीत जाते हैं गोइंग इनटू द 50 ओवर वर्ल्ड कप वी आर श्योर शॉट फेवरेट्स कि यार हम रिसेंटली आईसीसी ट्रॉफी जीत कर आए हैं. नाउ वंस ऑस्ट्रेलिया इफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया विंस दिस टेस्ट मैच they are going to be one of the favorites for the 50 over World Cup as well. कि यार they have that confidence कि यार हम हरा सकते हैं दूसरी टीम को भी in a final. So I think that is something which I want to see कि यार एक बार ये hurdle clear हो जाए. You just need like one extra push जिससे कि वो ट्रॉफी आपको हाथ में मिल जाए. Then that sets you up for the future.
Exactly, and that is very important because the next 7 to 8 years agar hum dekhe, there is an ICC event almost every year. Not almost, I think every year there is an ICC event. So if we can just manage to clear that final hurdle and जो mental block के बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं वो अगर हम निकाल दे, then we are really in for a good 7 to 8 years. But if we don't do that, then obviously we are always going to be in that same loop again. Play well in the league stages, knockouts तक आओ, फिर से वो डर आएगा कि अरे सेमीफाइनल में आ गए, फाइनल में आ गए, and again the same story will happen. So someday or the other it has to end, and I thought ki this would have been a perfect opportunity because one off yaar, matlab what more do you need? One off test match hai, it is against Australia, a team that you really like to play the most on a neutral venue. You won the toss, you have everything in your favor, and then this happens. So matlab it is very disappointing to say the least.
True, I agree. Jay saying this is the 11. This 11 is the most experienced 11 we have for the last time in a final. Next cycle में we'll have a completely different 11. Yeah.
Completely.
And if that is अगर वो होना है कि यार 11 change करके you still win a final, I'll take that because we have seen this story quite a few times कि यार हम सबसे अच्छी team है on paper, we have great players, but then if you're not winning, you're not lifting a silverware at the end of it. I don't think it doesn't matter much मेरे हिसाब से.
Absolutely, yeah. Matlab next year, next WTC cycle, we are going to see lots of senior players might not even make it till the end of the cycle, especially the likes of possibly Shami, Umesh Yadav, because of the age factor as well, and maybe Rohit Sharma as well. I'm really not sure. I don't think he's going to play all 3 formats till 2024 at least. Ek
No.
format to matlab I feel he's going to give it up. So
and I think that is going to be Test cricket is what I feel. I think he's still a decent white ball player, a good white ball player, but not in the longer format. Sanmay Singh, we just need one good session with the ball tomorrow to turn this game around in a favor. Yes, I agree. I feel from tomorrow, ball one, there should be short ball for a head. Don't allow him to settle much. Yeah. I think जब वो 98 पे था ना, sorry, when he was on 96, there was one leg slip या square leg just next to the umpire fielder था. देन वो फील्डर मूव करके मिड विकेट पे लेकर आ गए वो, ठीक है, जस्ट फॉर लाइक 2-3 रन्स. आई डोंट नो वो क्यों किया था बिकॉज दे आर ट्राइंग टू बॉल शॉट. लिटरली आई थिंक मोहम्मद सिराज वाज बॉलिंग एंड ही ट्राइड टू फेंड इट ऑफ और वो लग के आई थिंक वो आई थिंक खाली एरिया में चली गई थी, वहां पे एक फील्डर था लिटरली व्हेन ही वाज इन द लास्ट ओवर. सो आई थिंक वो मेरे को लग रहा था कि यार मे बी दैट, बिकॉज आई जब वो बॉल गई तो मेरे को लगा यहाँ पे तो फील्डर है, एंड देन आई सॉ दिस लाइक नो वन आउट देयर, लाइक ओके चलो ठीक है. Just sports is saying only Virat and Jinx can make my day tomorrow by scoring big runs. Yeah, यार पूरी खाली Virat Jinx नहीं. I think the entire batting lineup has to step up, starting with the openers, because openers है जो I think tone set करेंगे for the middle order. You cannot expect after Australia scoring close to 500 runs, you cannot expect the middle order to score the majority of the runs. You need your openers to step up as well at that point.
Exactly. The worst thing we can do if Australia are to score 500 runs is to
Yeah,
have
lose
our
the
team 20
defense.
for 2 in the
Yeah,
in the first session with the new ball. That is the worst thing to expect.
true.
So hopefully Rohit Sharma can do what he did at Oval the last time he played here.
Yeah, I think कितने बनाए थे, 150 कुछ तो बनाए थे, 150 160
Hmm.
something. Yeah. Yeah, I think बस यार probably Rohit, Pujara, Umesh, Rahane, and maybe Virat. Yeah, I think they are near the end, and I think I'll add Ashwin to this list as well, मेरे हिसाब से, because in the next 2 years I don't see him because he's hardly a part of the 11 now these days. So I think I can expect him not. क्योंकि इंडिया में तो चलो खेलते रहेंगे, इंडिया में कोई फाइनल नहीं रख रहा है वर्ल्ड टेस्ट चैंपियनशिप का, सबको पता है. So I think that is one thing which we need to see. So I was saying really excited. Yeah, I think I am also excited for that series, but for different reasons. But yeah, uh, we were in a similar position versus Australia at Gabba in 2021, and we turned around the game big time. Hopefully, we do that again, Jay. Fingers crossed, क्योंकि it all comes down to that first session tomorrow. कल अगर ऑस्ट्रेलिया खेल गई दोबारा ऐसा जैसा अभी खेल रहे हैं, then we are. I think I'm 90% sure that we will lose this game if India. We will not win this game, I would say, because draw भी एक achievement लगेगा कल अगर ऑस्ट्रेलिया ऐसे खेल गई दोबारा तो.
Exactly. First
Uh,
session will decide everything.
yeah. करने प्रेडिक्शन, बिकॉज जो हम प्रेडिक्शन करते हैं वो होते तो नहीं है वैसे, बट लेट्स टॉक अबाउट ट्रैविस हेड. अनबिलीवेबल इनिंग्स. आई थिंक ट्रैविस हेड का जो change दिखा है जो हमें in the past 18 odd months, that is very similar to how England has started playing cricket in the last 2 years. So I think literally the same mentality is with Travis Head, क्योंकि जब नया नया वो टेस्ट मैच खेलने आया था, he used to struggle थोड़े स्टार्ट में आने के बाद, and then he used to throw his wicket away. Now he's trying to get on the bowlers from the first ball he comes in. So brilliant innings, and I think no better player than Steve Smith किया सपोर्ट करने के लिए दूसरे एंड से मिल जाए. So I think need to get him out. But a few words के क्या लगता है यार, Travis said, how did you feel कि यार ये innings, where do you rank this innings in terms of, क्योंकि pressure final है, it surely has to be like one of the best innings in a final.
Absolutely. I think for stats purposes, this is the first ever 100 in a WTC final. That is a good stat to have if you want to look back at this innings 10 years down the line. But speaking from finals point of view, the conditions, losing the toss, team in a very bad position at 78 for 3, to play that kind of an innings and with that strike rate, I think almost 80 point something ka unka strike rate tha throughout his innings so far. And I think he also has the highest batting strike rate in the entire WTC cycle for this 2021-2023, 81.91. And it's not just about this match, but he has played this way for the entire WTC cycle, and that just shows what kind of an asset he is for Australia. And he's at the top for the highest batting strike rates, just above our main man Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant has 80.80, while Travis Head has 81.91. So ऐसे बोल सकते हैं कि what Rishabh Pant used to do for us before his injury, or like for the last 3 to 4 years, Travis Head is exactly doing that. Plus, the good thing for Australia is that what Rishabh Pant actually faced was we had a very inconsistent top order. So it was always down on Rishabh Pant to rescue India from a very bad position. But for Travis Head, he has a very stable top order to actually give him that freedom. Like as you rightly said, Steve Smith है यार दूसरे end से. What more does a batter need than to have the best test batter in the world to have yourself accompanying him and from the other end. So arguably one of the best innings in a final, and the way that he actually counter-attacked, our bowlers had really nothing to answer for that matter. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes on to score a 200 in the first session itself tomorrow, and that is going to be a big statement innings. Plus also England are also going to watch this very closely, because in 2 weeks time or 1 week's time for that matter, they are going to be up against this Australian superstar in their baseball era, as we like to call it. So it is going to be very interesting, to be very honest.
क्योंकि कल ही हम ये बात कर रहे थे ना कि यार they would like to set the tone for the Ashes, and I think they have done it already really really well in the first day itself. 90 overs भी नहीं हुए यार, अब तो लोग 90 overs में I think 250 रन बना के first day पे खुश रहते. They are 327 for 3. I think they would have taken it after losing the toss for sure. So
Absolutely.
uh, but yeah, I think well said. I think completely agree with everything you said regarding Travis Head. But now the question is, कितने पे आउट कर सकते हैं यार हमें, बिकॉज वी नीड टू गेट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ट्रैविस हेड आउट, वी नीड टू गेट स्टीव स्मिथ आउट, बिकॉज अगर हम ये सोच रहे हैं स्टीव स्मिथ को दूसरे एंड पे खड़े कर दो, अगर वो हो गया देन दे आर स्टिल स्कोरिंग 500. ओके, सो हाउ, व्हाट इज योर प्रेडिक्शन कि कितने पे हम रोक सकते हैं उन्हें इफ वी बॉल रियली रियली वेल टुमारो?
I think like it wouldn't be too optimistic even if I say that the lucky number is 420, because it can still happen. We have seen this Australian team collapse from a very good position in the past as well, even just few months ago against India, although different conditions, but this team has had knack for collapsing in such situations. So we might just not look at the bigger picture right from the ball one, but if we just look at from session by session, yeah, मतलब first hour में, firstly as I said earlier कि पहले तो यार रन्स रोको. दे हैव बीन स्कोरिंग सो मच फ्रीली, लाइक ऑलमोस्ट क्लोज टू 4 runs per over पहले दिन में. हमने उनको चांस दिया मारने. आई थिंक फर्स्टली वी हैव टू स्टॉप दैट. फर्स्ट फ्यू ओवर शुड बी क्वाइट, लाइक ऐसे जैसे आज हम लोग ने स्टार्ट किया. फर्स्ट 5 overs हार्डली वेंट फॉर एनी रन्स. इफ वी क्रिएट दैट प्रेशर इनिशियली, देन वी कैन think about getting a wicket. We can't just directly go from ball one कि हाँ यार अभी wicket लेना ही है. We have to first create the pressure and then get 1 wicket early. If we can get Travis Head, then that brings Steve Smith into the picture. Then Steve Smith will also have to think about attacking. क्योंकि Travis Head गया है, there is a new batter coming in, so he will have to like take the mantle of attacking, and that is where we can try to attack Steve Smith as well. Don't forget he's on 95, although of course it doesn't matter for him. He's been in his 90s and scoring hundreds for Will, but still वो ऐसे at the back of the mind रहेगा कि यार 100 का figure है, final है. So maybe we can try to exploit that as well. So if we can get 1 or 2 wickets early in the first 30 minutes, then we are well and sure favorites to get them below 400 as well. And our bowlers have that ability in that. And I think the ball is also new right now. Hardly 5 overs ही हुए हैं. So we can exploit that. So hopefully, if everything goes well, we can have a little bit of cloud cover at least for the 30 minutes tomorrow morning, and then hopefully we can try to exploit that, and that way 400 के अंदर भी हम लोग उनको ले सकते हैं. But it all depends on the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, true, I agree. I think the first day itself, the first session itself is going to decide the fate of this game मेरे हिसाब से. I completely agree. So yeah, I think looking forward to it. Yeah, Sanchit, बारिश वारिश का टेंशन मत लो यार, जो भी लोग देख रहे हो. I think we are getting a result from this game for sure. So don't और बारिश से कुछ expect भी मत करो कि यार बारिश आके बचा लेगी कोई भी एक टीम को. So don't even think about that. So thank you so much, yes, Sanchit. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat as well. Do like the video, do subscribe to the channel, keep supporting the channel as well, like always on all social media platforms, and be a part of the Third Man family. Thank you so much once again. Have a good night.